Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Please take your seats. And let me offer you a very warm welcome to the University of Strathclyde. Another very special day here in the Barony Hall. The Barony Hall is one of the jewels in the university's estate, and we do lots of important things in here. Conferencing, banquets, meetings from people all around the world, but the most important thing we do is graduate these fantastic graduands that we have before us in the hall, and those that are on the stage behind us as well. It's wonderful to see such a fantastic array of great talent. And to the mums, dads, family members, supporters, a very warm welcome to you too. It's a day that we all celebrate, and today will be no different. I'll say a little bit about the university later on in the ceremony, but it's worthwhile, just as we start this morning, you could not have failed to notice that we had a very sad message last week when we learned that we lost one of our students, Suleiman Dawood, who was sadly one of the occupants of the Titan submersible that was lost in the North Atlantic. Like many of the rest of us, we all hoped for a few days, but sadly we've learned the truth of the fate of Dawood and his father and the other occupants of that vessel. We've been in regular touch with his family. Only yesterday there was an online commemoration service that many Strathclyders participated in. And we were very proud of what Suleiman had achieved here. He had just completed first year. He was a student in our business school. We have the Dean of the Business School here on the stage with us. Very popular young man, very active in sports, and a sad loss to all. And I told his mum that every time I was presiding over this wonderful set of ceremonies, I'd be mentioning Suleiman, and I'd be inviting all of us to mark Suleiman's time at Strathclyde appropriately and with a bit of joy in our hearts, with a round of applause so that I can tell her that we've done that this morning as well. Thank you for that. And to all of you important people again, wearing your robes, we'll be celebrating your graduation, because shortly you'll be come across the stage. I will cap you, and then you'll receive your parchment just to mark your graduations. This thing before me is the university's kneeler. Don't be tempted to kneel on it, please. This is how we used to do graduations. I've knelt on this piece of furniture 3 times for my bachelor's, master's and PhD, but we're a bit more egalitarian these days. We like to look in the eyes of our graduates as we cap them. That's appropriate. But also at these events, occasionally we have a fantastic opportunity to enhance the ceremony by honouring and respecting and acknowledging the contributions of professionals from private life, from public sector life, from academia. And this morning is one of those occasions where we're going to honour a fantastic contributor to Glasgow in the round, about whom you'll hear a little bit more shortly. Peter is here and he's going to be introduced by Professor David Hillier. David's, as I mentioned, is our Dean of the Business School and Associate Principal of the University, so we'll start the ceremony with that in a moment. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, please relax and enjoy yourself. I'm sure you will be politely clapping as your family member come across the stage, but you can let your hair down as well and let them know that you're here. You're here to enjoy yourself, so please do that, within reason, if you don't mind. So let me now formally declare the congregation open. Please enjoy the ceremony, and I'll invite Professor Hillier to introduce our honorary graduate. Thank you very much.
Good morning. I am genuinely honoured to present for an honorary degree today a distinguished alumnus and a man who has left an indelible mark on Scottish culture and business. Peter Duthie has been a participant, a game changer and a guiding light. What is it about Scotland that makes it so unique? If you've ever lived here, visited or even just passed through, you'd know part of the answer lies in our magnificent, iconic landmarks. You've probably snapped a picture or two of the SEC buildings down by the Clyde, attended an unforgettable concert at the OVO Hydro, or even been vaccinated at the NHS Louisa Jordan Hospital, a beacon of hope during the COVID pandemic. But do you know the common thread weaving these experiences together? That thread is Peter Duthie. Peter, who has been with the Scottish Event Campus since its inception in 1984, took the helm in 2014 and has been an unstoppable force ever since. He began his journey in the world of sports, bringing sporting events and concerts to life at the venue. He climbed the ranks, demonstrating his leadership, commitment, and innovative mindset at every step. His vision and determination have significantly impacted Glasgow's economy, with the campus generating nearly £500 million annually. However, Peter's ambition was broader than only economic impact. He dreamed of putting Glasgow and Scotland on the world map, and he did just that. From the Commonwealth Games to the MTV European Music Awards and World Gymnastic Championships, the SEC has hosted events that have garnered global recognition under Peter's leadership. And who can forget COP26? Securing this event was a victory for Glasgow and Scotland and a milestone in our journey towards a sustainable future. I'm sure Peter has a few stories up his sleeve about that time, and we may even hear some of them today. Sustainability is a critical focus for the SEC and for us here at the University of Strathclyde. Peter has taken this mission to heart, serving as a director of Net Zero Carbon Events, a global initiative to address climate change. And Peter is more than just a leader in the business world. He's a sports enthusiast who played cricket for Scotland and played rugby, basketball and hockey at senior club level. He is a keen golfer and a champion in his own right, having won the Scottish Colleges Golf Championship in 1981. But what's truly impressive about Peter isn't just his accomplishments, but his journey to get there. He was the first employee of the newly built SECC in Glasgow and has worked his way up through the organisation to chief executive today. From sticking on seat numbers to stewarding, Peter has done it all. He has shown us that every role is important, and it's the small things, the details, that matter. As he once said, it's my job as CEO to effect a culture of change and to take things to the next stage, and some things always need to be addressed. He truly embodies the philosophy of best venues, best people, best events. Peter's dedication and passion have shaped the SEC into what it is today, from addressing issues of accessibility and acoustics to creating a comfortable backstage environment for artists. His journey is a testament to the fact that every step counts, no matter how small. Peter, we're proud to confer this honorary degree, a Doctor of the University, on you today. Your journey from being a graduate of Strathclyde to becoming one of UK's most respected event industry leaders inspires us all. We look forward to your continued contributions to our culture, business and society. Congratulations.
Peter, I create you Doctor of the University honoris causa. We're delighted to have you be part of the Strathclyde family. You're a fantastic force for good and success in Glasgow University and Strathclyde University and all the other institutions in and around the city. Well done again, and congratulations. Please.
Thank you, and good morning, everyone. I'd like to start by thanking the University of Strathclyde for this recognition today and for those very kind words. I am humbled and very proud to receive it. I would also like to congratulate everybody else graduating today. To achieve success in a university education is a great accomplishment. To do so when impacted by a pandemic is even more so. COVID has impacted so many lives in so many ways, but I feel for those whose university experience has been compromised by restrictions on in-person learning, and on all the social activities which are so important. As someone who has spent 40 years in the event industry, it will come as no surprise, I'm sure, that I believe passionately in the value of face-to-face engagement. Our whole business is based on live interaction, whether it's an artist feeding off the energy of an audience, or conference delegates simply exchanging ideas informally over coffee. One thing the pandemic did do was reinforce how important live events are to people, supporting not only the economy, but the health and well-being agenda as well. At the SEC, we had to navigate our way through 2 years of closure, converting, as was mentioned, to a medical facility, the NHS Louisa Jordan, for part of that time. And we were proud to play our part in the country's response to COVID before reopening to stage our biggest and most important event ever, COP26. I never thought I would be in the same building as Barack Obama, Bill Gates, Jeff Bezos, and Leonardo DiCaprio all at the same time. It was a very big building, and I wasn't in the same bit as them, but nonetheless. We were closed for a further couple of months soon after that, before fully opening again in February last year. And since then, we have had our busiest year ever, with a huge pent-up demand for events. It's clear how much they mean to people. Live events are also at the heart of many celebrations. I can personally vouch for that, having come from my daughter's wedding on Saturday to this graduation ceremony today, fortunately equipped with the right speech, although the father of the bride's speech might have been more entertaining. But what excites me is that what we do at the SEC really matters. Activities on the campus contribute, as was stated earlier, nearly £500 million into Glasgow's economy annually. But equally importantly, the Oval Hydro, as one of the 5 busiest arenas in the world, helps to provide memorable experiences for over 1 million visitors a year. I got into the events business partly by chance, partly by good luck, but also partly by actively looking for opportunities with an open mind. How could I use the knowledge and skills I'd acquired and use them in a field that interested me? I've been very fortunate to work in an industry which enabled me to grow with it. And since my first role in 1984, every sector of the business has changed dramatically. There were no big conference centres or live entertainment arenas in the UK back then. And many of the jobs our teams do now simply didn't exist until recently. The pace of change is only increasing, driven significantly by technology, and I'm sure that many of the jobs you will all be doing in 5 years' time don't exist today. I would encourage you as you start out in your careers and as you progress to keep an open mind, to search for something that interests or excites you, and to see how you can use your knowledge and skills to find your own way in that space. Whether that's in a caring profession or a commercial environment, hopefully that way you will enjoy what you do, which is hugely important. Due to the changing world, employers increasingly look at candidates' attitude, enthusiasm, adaptability, resilience, and social skills, as well as their qualifications, seeking the personality who can add value to their organisation, bringing much more than simply technical skills. Having trained as a teacher, I wasn't necessarily expecting the skills I had learnt to be so transferable, but so much was around communication skills, understanding and empathy, listening as well as broadcasting, and those skills have been hugely valuable to me throughout my career. Communication is so important and so much more effective when it's face-to-face. So when you go out into the workplace, for example, and are given the option to work virtually from home, please consider what you might miss out on. Working in a dynamic live environment with fellow team members, informal learning and knowledge exchanges, conversations that lead to innovation, not to mention the social aspects, which are equally important for building healthy relationships. All of these aspects can help your own career to progress. I can feel a huge amount of positive energy in this room today, anticipation not only of your own graduation, I'm sure, but also of what lies ahead for you. We are social creatures and rely on and benefit from being together, such as at this ceremony today. I hope you thoroughly enjoy your day and wish you all and the University of Strathclyde every success in the future. Thank you.
Principal and Vice-Chancellor, in the name of the University and by the authority of Senate, I present to you these students. For the degree of Doctor of Philosophy for Research in Psychology, Anna Kryszkowska. Sofia Milhiero Pimenta. For the degree of Master of Philosophy for Research in Speech and Language Therapy, Charya Jayasri Udara Bandara Palawa Kapurapastha Bandaraj. For the degree of Master of Science in Counselling and Psychotherapy, Stephen Kendall Dunn. Robert Carl Honeychurch Jr. Mary Margaret McInnes. Jasmine Amy Suzanne Meikle. Mary Orr Milligan. Noor Asita Binti Idris. Sumaya Abdul Salam. Ben Fraser Watson. Sandra Joan Xavier. In clinical health psychology, Kofi Raynell Brown. In psychology with specialisation in business, Joanna Laura Maria Mallon. For the degree of Bachelor of Arts in Education and Sport, Rona McIntosh. Hannah Nina McNabb. Rachel Cook. In Humanities and Social Sciences, Sophie Gray. Emma Howison. Alex Mitchell. Isla Simpson. Molly Logue Smith. Ava Christina Sweeney. In Humanities and Social Sciences with International Study, Ayla Katrin McPherson. Jack Alexander Thomas Skinner. In Psychology and Sport, Sarah Marie Sidebottom. In Psychology with Sport, Leslie Allison McPherson. In Psychology, Sophie Jane Blackett. Skye Borthwick. Antonia Saskia Burnett. Iona Devitt. Heather Miriam Honor Douglas. Samuel Elliott Finnegan. Amy Louise Gemmell. Emma Lauren Gifford. Megan Jaffrey. Aifka Janssen. Rebecca Erin McGuigan. Darren James McKendrick. Louise Emily Milne. Jessica Eve McGruer Noble. Nikita Retain Patel. Martina Ross. Josephine Russell. Catherine Ann Alexander. Nida Ali. Louise Elizabeth Anderson. Zainab Arfan. Madeline Ann Barrett. Freya Boyd. Catherine Hazel Brownlee. Christopher Patrick Byrne. Nicole Linton Carmichael. Eva Mary Clarkson. Stephanie Margaret Marion Connell. Megan Lee Coyle. Megan O'Donnell Douglas. Victoria Catherine Fairley. Amelia Mary Farron. Siobhan Fraser. Abby Muir Freeman. Kira Naomi Fulton. Lauren Faye Gabriel. Megan Louise Gallagher. Laura Geddes. Caitlin Ann Grace. Isla Anne-Marie Grady. Isla Grant. Caitlin Gregory. Ronan Haddo. Laurie Harkness. Rebecca Healy. Guy Key Geraldine Ho. Rebecca Louise Houlihan. Gemma Isabel Human. Beth Howard Sholand. Molly Hunter. Ellie Rose Duncan Heine. Sarah Jack. Emma Johnston. Hiba Kane. Nina Kelly. Christopher Kells. Fatima Kokar. Stacey Kilpatrick. Lok Tung Lam. Gemma Lawrenson. Holly Louise Lowes. Elizabeth Mary Ann Mackenzie. Nicole Martin. Rebecca Margaret Louise Matheson. Martina Veronica Matuszak. Lauren Maxwell. Megan Maxwell. Lucy Margaret Helen McCallum. Emily Claire McCarran. Olivia Hope McIlvenny. Erin Grace McIndoe. Hannah McKenna. Stephanie McKnight. Ailey McLean. Alana Elizabeth Mercer. Aileen Milton. Lee Mitchell. Matthew Morrison. Brooke Moyes. Emma Neve Murray Martin. Shauna O'Keefe. Louisa Ortenzi. Ali Phillip. Anna Corey Powell. Alexandra Eleanor Quinn. Nicole Reed. Darcy Riley. Dylan Riley. Keir Robertson. Judith Catherine Russell. Aidan Scott. Ailsa Scott. Annabelle Katrina Skoos. Neve Margaret Slavin. Ailey Helen Smith. Alexander Smith. Lewis Smith. Nadia Smith. Farah Smith. Antonia Mary Stewart. Neve Grace Summers. Lauren Jo Taylor Fox. Chloe Louise Templeton. Rebecca Lee Thompson. Ailey Thompson. Charlotte Traynor. Anya Watt. Taylor Wilson. Mohammed Abdi. Melissa Elizabeth Devlin. Wallace Wynne Edwards. Mia Forrest. Ellie Gibson. Jade Samantha Kennedy. Jane McQueen. Hyacinth Lee McWinad. Catherine McGroarty. Niamh Marie McGroarty. Teresa Robertson. Katie Sarah Shala. In Psychology and Law, Amy Martin. In Psychology and Politics and International Relations with International Study, Michelle Romano. In Psychology and Spanish with International Study, Ava Hazel Goodwin. Darren Luke Laverty. In Psychology with Education, Junzi Lee. In Psychology with Social Policy, Chloe May. For the degree of Bachelor of Science in Sport and Physical Activity, Shauna Scott. Adam Shaw. Hannah Walker. Aidan Allen. Douglas Allardyce. Rachel Hope Andrew. Abby Callahan. Ailey Margaret Ann Casey. Lily Iona Kroll. Kennedy Doolan. Charlotte Holly Drainer. Ryan Fraser. Ben Lawton. Sarah Ruth MacLeod. Ryan McCrone. Ben Alexander Miller. Hannah Scrafton. Ailey Stephen. Maya Thompson. Bonnie Hoi Yan Wan. Amy Winning. In Psychology and Counselling, Lindsay Francis Crawford. Juliet Cheng. Chloe Gardiner Bennett Davison. Shannon Donnelly. Abigail Gregory. Holly Lamont. Michael Gerard McDermott. John Marshall McNair. Ailey Jane Symington. Candice Torley. Fraser James Welsh. Olivia Jane Finley. Zara Mogul. Jordan Echo Sleeman. Karen Louise Walton. In Speech and Language Pathology, Sophie Crowe. Esther Douglas. Katrina Robertson. Hajar Abdallah Rashid Al Hamahami. Rebecca Anna Cameron. Erica Marie Hederwick. Jane Catherine Mays. Emily Scott. Dervla Leisha Smith. Shauna Roisin Warren. Emmy Jessica Wiggins. Amy Nicola Anderson. Sarah Teresa Black. Valentina Brignoli. Abby Joanne Harvey. Saoirse Laney Higham. Niamh McInnes. Alan Robert Tripney. For the degree of Bachelor of Arts in Psychology, Zainab Ikra Mohammed. Jodie Leah Bretman. Aaron Heath. Iona Rose Kennedy Torney. Zoe Ebony Todd. For the degree of Bachelor of Science in Psychology and Counselling, Rhiannon Deasley. In Speech and Language Pathology, Maria Sweeney. In Psychology and Counselling, Marissa Anne-Louise Rose.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, let's give the class of 2023 a big round of applause. So, once again, ladies and gentlemen, and now to you too, our Strathclyde graduates, let me reiterate our warm welcome to this wonderful ceremony, a day that none of you will forget. It marks the successful conclusion of years of hard work, and now you've graduated before your family, your friends, your supporters, and of course, your classmates. Today we welcome guests from all over Scotland, from across the UK, and of course from a wonderful international community. We're all delighted to see you here to join in the ceremony with us today. Importantly, your university, Strathclyde, is an institution where freedom of thought is valued and encouraged. We're a place that's both tolerant and inclusive, and where people of diverse national, cultural and social backgrounds come together to enjoy excellent education and a shared student experience. At Strathclyde, we all benefit from having staff and students from over 130 different countries, because ours is a socially progressive community. We seek to be an exemplar for modern society because we're plural, multicultural, and we seek to be enlightened. It's our responsibility. Graduates, it's your responsibility to continue to challenge unacceptable practices, including by those in power, by using reason and by exemplifying the very best features of a modern, progressive society. But most importantly, we're here today to acknowledge your hard work, the learning and skills that you've built up, and the successful completion of your degree course. This will be your passport to making a full contribution to your career and to society and to the communities that you belong to, in spite of the flux and uncertainty that we currently face. Of course, we're still working our way through the aftermath of COVID-19, not least within our health and care systems, and many of you will play a very important part in putting the system back together again. The increasingly obvious effects that Brexit has had on the UK economy and the need to redefine the UK and Scotland in that international context. And of course, the current cost of living challenges, the realisation of the need for greater resilience in our energy supplies, as well as the inflationary pressures that we've been facing, not least of which because of the illegal and unacceptable invasion of Ukraine by Russia. And we send our best wishes to our friends and colleagues in Ukraine. But through all of this, and nonetheless, it's you, our new graduates, that will be the leaders, the innovators, the risk takers that will help us to navigate these challenges and shift us to a more sustainable, safer, healthier and prosperous future. And we've all shown resilience. We've had to, whether that's personally or across our various institutions, not least in the universities. In Strathclyde in particular, I was very proud of the way that my staff stepped up to the plate during that transition during COVID. But what we have demonstrated, that society can achieve more when we work together. And it placed science and research and innovation at the forefront of finding solutions to the challenges that we face. It was science, universities and innovative industries that delivered the vaccines for COVID-19 in record time. And it'll be science, social sciences, engineering and education that will help us to address other pressures, including climate change. Just last week, another of our honorary graduates, Sir Patrick Vallance, was here on the stage with us, reflecting on the need for excellent graduates such as all of you to make that difference and lead as well as pursue your careers. And you'll recall, and you heard from Peter and from David, it was only 18 months or so ago that our wonderful city hosted COP26, the summit of world leaders which came together to agree measures to minimise global warming and climate change. And we have to move to action, and that's what we have to keep supporting but pressurising our leaders in this country and beyond to make a difference. And as a university community, we absolutely embrace the need for us to be an exemplar, not just in the teaching and research that we do, but how we run this institution. I was privileged during COP26 to meet several key leaders, including John Kerry. John Kerry is the special presidential climate envoy for Mr. Biden. Sir Alex Sharma at the time was president of COP26. Michael Bloomberg, a fellow electrical engineer, I met to talk about the role of cities and what Glasgow was doing to show itself in the best light in that journey to address climate change. But of course, the highlight of these visits was that we had Barack Obama on our campus. Great privilege. It had to be kept rather secret, so there was about 6 surprised people to see him come out of the car and come into our learning and teaching building. But 3 or 4 hours later, through the powers of social media, there were 500 or 600 people there waiting to say goodbye to him as he left the campus. And I had the privilege of speaking to him. But as he left, having spoken to young people, and note that, young people with the energy, the vision, the commitment and ambition to make a difference on climate change, as he left, he turned to the crowds that had gathered and he claimed 2 words at them. And it was this: get active. And I'll say that to you, graduates before us and graduates on the stage. Get active, whether it's in your careers, of course, very importantly, the professions that you'll pursue, whether it's in the communities that you belong to, but the contribution to driving society forward in an enlightened way is really important. So, take that forward today and make a difference in what you choose to do, and go ahead and apply yourselves and seek to make a difference. And I'm a product of Strathclyde as well. I was brought up here in Glasgow, just on the other side of the Clyde, in a sunny hamlet called Govan. That town's historic motto is nihil sine labore, or nothing without hard work. Thomas Edison said that genius was 1% inspiration, 99% perspiration. I'm sure your percentages are a little bit better than that, but for me, I have to work hard, and that's what gets me out of my bed in the morning, is to come in here and try and make a difference, working with my excellent colleagues, working to educate the next generation of leaders such as you. And now you've become Strathclyde alumni, and you're the latest group of university's torchbearers following many generations that have gone before you. And with all that you've gone through now, I'm sure you would agree with me that you couldn't have done it without the backing of these wonderful people in the hall with you today. Their backing, their encouragement, this community of supporters. I would like to invite now our graduates and my staff to say a big thank you to the families, friends and supporters for all that you've done to make today possible. Thank you very much. And be in no doubt that for our excellent academic staff, this is a very important day too, because your success is ultimately their reward. They've worked hard to provide you with a high-quality education and a first-class university experience for all of our students, regardless of background. So, graduates and those in the hall, please join me in saying thank you to our academic colleagues. As you leave us today, just a very little bit about the history of your place. Strathclyde was established in 1796, 227 years ago, although I still try to lead this place like a 200-year-old startup organisation, retaining that same sense of excitement, entrepreneurship and purpose since the time of our establishment. And throughout our history, Strathclyde has remained faithful to our founding principles. And I quote in the language of the day, "We were established for the benefit of all mankind." And we were the only institution, higher education institution, to be established in Scotland during the Scottish Enlightenment. A real distinction for Strathclyde and driving us forward in that same spirit into the 21st century, making a difference. Our founder, Professor John Anderson, who was a professor at the University of Glasgow, a physicist or natural philosopher, as he would have been called then, had a strong relationship with Benjamin Franklin. And Franklin was one of those that established the University of Pennsylvania in 1751 under the motto of useful knowledge. And with the influence of Franklin, who Anderson accompanied when he was here in Scotland, and the fervour of the Enlightenment here in Scotland across Europe, Anderson wanted to have a place established that he called the place of useful learning. And that's the place through which you've come over the past few years. And that motto is known by all of our staff, useful learning. It still defines our purpose as a leading international technological university that's committed to being socially progressive. For example, across the buildings that you'll have passed today, as you've come to the Barony Hall, our academics and our students are developing drugs to diagnose and fight disease. For example, we have many drugs in clinical trials in the areas of cancer treatment, kidney disease, infection management, and inflammatory diseases. We're working on low-carbon energy technologies and policy solutions to tackle climate change and to establish a low-carbon economy. We're revolutionising global manufacturing, the so-called Fourth Industrial Revolution, or Industry 4.0, on robotics, AI, data analytics, digital twin, and all of that. Just last week, I had the pleasure of being with our First Minister, Hamza Yusuf, out at the airport as we opened the new National Manufacturing Institute for Scotland that Strathclyde owns and leads on behalf of the Scottish community, capturing again for Scotland something we gave up too easily 30, 40 years ago, and that's advanced manufacturing. We have such a proud, long-standing history. Here's an opportunity for Strathclyde to light that beacon and bring forward some great jobs and great opportunities. But our students, they're our finest product. They already continue to work in low-income countries, establishing clean water and power supplies, developing healthcare systems in remote communities, and introducing new telecommunications infrastructure. They're working, as we all are now, to inform our policy and lawmakers. It's a hard place to be now as a politician, we know that, and whilst we hold them to account, we should support them with data, evidence, encouragement from time to time as well, whether it's in energy, whether it's in health. And down on George Street, our Technology and Innovation Centre, that's become a very important anchor for Scotland's first innovation district here in the heart of the city, the Glasgow City Innovation District, working in energy, photonics and pharmaceuticals. The humanities and social sciences woven throughout that. I mentioned Thomas Edison already. He called his technical teams in his labs his inventions factory. Well, TIC, as we call it, has become our innovations factory, attracting now in the city over 1,600 businesses, from fintech to AI to industrial informatics and space. Who knew that outside California, Glasgow has the largest small satellite manufacturing capability in the world? Typical Glaswegians, we go on with it and we don't celebrate it, but we have to promote this now as we manage and support the evolution of the economy here in Glasgow and Scotland in general. And people are investing us. Just last year, Dr. Charles Wang, a double graduate of our business school, contacted me, and it was a very welcome call because he pledged $70 million to help Strathclyde on its way. I'm in the process of designing the next Technology and Innovation Centre, which will be on this campus as well, bringing again together innovators, investors, government and its agencies, as well as the academic communities. And Charles, you will never have heard of, I assume, but you'll know some of his companies, not least the Innova Medical Company, because it produced the majority of the lateral flow tests that we got all so used to using over our two and a half years. We all became biochemists on our kitchen table, you might remember. But Charles is creating a £1 billion fund, and his first donation was to his alma mater. And we are still in close touch with Charles, and I suspect he'll continue to support us further on our journey. So with that commitment to useful learning, we're seeking to support business and industry with the tools that they need to be more productive, more innovative, promoting economic growth, helping to create jobs for you and for those others in the city, providing all of us with a better quality of life that's both sustainable and healthy. But most importantly, we give people an opportunity to transform their lives and the lives of their families. As I mentioned earlier, we still attract many first-generation university graduates to Strathclyde. And these are some of the reasons that the university has had a sequence of independent recognition. Over the past 8 years or so, we're the only university to have received the Times Higher Education UK University of the Year, the Entrepreneurial University of the Year, the Sunday Times Scottish University of the Year. We've won 3 Queen's Anniversary prizes in quick succession of power engineering, energy innovation, advanced manufacturing. And I'm delighted to tell you that last night I got a great WhatsApp message from some of my staff who are in Barcelona that last night Strathclyde was named the European Entrepreneurial University of the Year. Well done to the staff for that one. So we drive through all of you to have a disproportionate impact on society. And you are our finest product. Research and facilities are fantastic, and that raises our reputation. But it's all of you that have graduated now. When you go out through the hall today, you're those fledgling professionals. Take your energy, take your drive, take your ambitions and take it forward. And the Scottish Government invests around about 1.2 billion in Scottish universities. That's a lot of money. But in return, from the Scottish higher education sector, they get over £10 billion worth of value back into the economy. So we're an investment, not a cost. And the successes and contributions of the Humanities and Social Sciences faculty, and not least those in the Psychological Sciences and Health Department, you give me great cause for optimism. And I won't list endlessly all the fantastic achievements, but just a few across the faculty. For example, Sarah Bernstein and PhD student Graham Armstrong from the faculty were named on the Granta magazine once in a decade list of best of young British novelists. And that list has a history of highlighting authors who have gone to become leading figures in fiction. Louise Brangan was named as one of the BBC and Arts and Humanities Research Council New Generation Thinkers. And that group includes 10 of the UK's most promising arts and humanities early career researchers. Research undertaken in your faculty showed that regular physical activity can improve adolescents' mental health and help with behavioural difficulties. Engaging in regular and moderate to vigorous physical activity at age 11 was associated with better mental health between the ages of 11 and 13, and physical activity was also associated with reduced hyperactivity and behavioural problems in young people, such as loss of temper, fighting with other children, lying and stealing. Our academics and researchers have also been looking at the future of research into the mental health of young men and shaping that through a study called Men Minds, led by this university. And the project focuses on 3 groups of adolescent young men: those who are migrants, LGBTQ+, or those who are in conflict with the law, who often face additional challenges to their mental health and well-being. That's useful learning. PhD student Theophano Tika was awarded the Scottish Cancer Foundation's £10,000 annual prize for developing the first easy-to-use calculator for identifying patients at high risk of head and neck cancer. And it proved invaluable during COVID-19 in assessing patients remotely when they couldn't be seen in hospital. And our students do well also. The faculty student Blair Haswell was a member of the 5-man GB curling team, which won gold at the World University Winter Games, winning all but one of their 12 games to finish top of the tournament. And Strath alum Grant Hardy was part of the Scotland curling team that won gold in Canada, and that was in the World Men's Championships. Fantastic achievement. And many others, including Professor Elisa Morgera, who was named a Fellow of the Royal Society of Edinburgh, and many more achievements. And that's the exciting context, graduates, within which you should view your awards. You're graduates of a university that places students at the very heart of everything that we do. We value excellence, of course, in education and research, but we focus on creating strong connections with society at large and the business and industry community. And internationalisation is key to us all as well. I mentioned that. The world's best universities contribute, collaborate and compete on the international stage, and we're no different. In America, our long-standing international strategic partnerships that David Hillier leads for us, that includes Stanford University, MIT, New York University, Waterloo University in Canada, and China, the top two institutions, University of Peking. The president was here 2 weeks ago. Tsinghua University, the vice president's here this week, and the Hong Kong University of Science and Technology, and many others. But in spite of the challenges of Brexit, we also connect very strongly, not only into our UK community, but across Europe. Remember, this university is over 200 years old, so we go with the fluxes of political backdrop and we focus on what really matters: education, research, partnerships and shared vision. And you've all benefited too from being part of an international university. It's helping you emerge with the skills necessary, not only for yourself, but for Scotland and the other countries that you'll work in to play a full part in that global community. And you've been exposed, very importantly, to the richness and value of different cultures and traditions. And you're leaving today, please, remembering that you have obligations as global citizens. And I'll move to a conclusion to remind you that being socially progressive isn't just a strapline. Strathclyde, amongst the research-intensive universities in Scotland, takes the highest number of young people from the two most challenged quintiles in Scottish society, the communities that I belong to, and I'm proud still to work with them. This year, almost 1,300 youngsters came here from what we call the Scottish Index of Multiple Deprivation 0 to 40, a pejorative term, but it's a measure of where they come from. And they come in here, we get them in, we keep them in, and we launch them on their career. And we have to start early because whilst you're part of the summer graduations, just a month ago on this stage and in this hall, we had 300 youngsters from 10 primary schools across Scotland from what's called low attainment areas. And just as importantly, they were here with their gowns on and their mortarboards. It was a sight to behold. And I have to say, if I could capture the enthusiasm in the hall, I'd have a new form of renewable energy. But their mums and dads were here. And I was speaking to their mums and dads, none of whom had been across the threshold of a university, that this place is for you. And aspire for these young people, because I want them to be sitting where you are today, graduates, in 10 years' time. These 10 and 12-year-olds, and having that same ambition and the facilitation to get where they want to be. So, as I characterise your university in Strathclyde in 2023, I would like to think we retain our distinctiveness and we have ambitious programmes, ambitious strategies, we have focus and momentum, and we continue to work with agility and commitment to absorb and navigate the challenges, whether they're political, economic or otherwise. It's a great privilege for me to lead this place with the great support I have from my executive team, from the academics, the support staff and the administrators that are here. And I truly believe if our founder, John Anderson, was witnessing this graduation, he would recognise useful learning at play and realising the vision he had for a university during the Enlightenment period. And to all of you in the Barony Hall today, I am certain that all of you will have an enormous impact in society through your professions and the other things that you do. And 2023 can truly become a vintage year. You've shown resilience, dedication and maturity through a few hard years, and we're all very proud of you. And with that in mind, you leave today joining a community of 200,000 Strathclyders around the world, a veritable army of talent.
And remember, whatever you do, please, with your degree, whatever you decide to pursue your careers, truly useful learning means that you apply your knowledge for the benefit of others, make a positive impact for yourselves and the communities that you belong to. Please respect diversity and value freedom of expression and thought, and reach conclusions and resolve disputes through reason and tolerance. That's the core values of your university. So, on behalf of the university, I'd like to extend my sincere congratulations to each and every one of you. You've done a fantastic job to get here, and now you're standing on the threshold of a lot of excitement. Please stay in touch with us to let us know what you were doing. Well done again, and please enjoy the rest of this very special day. Thanks very much.
So, with that, ladies and gentlemen, we'll move to conclusion. I hope you've enjoyed the ceremony as much as we have delivering it. It's been a real joy. Right. We've just been using digital technology, and I've been given the thumbs down for the weather, which means that we will conclude. We're going to process along the hall, so you'll let the stage party process along with the graduates' families, and then we will still invite you in due course to make your way to the Learning and Teaching building, where we've got a reception. And hopefully we can meet you for a chat there. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, as I close this ceremony, I'll ask you to be upstanding. Thank you very much indeed.